on the right path. You know what I'm saying? Looking at being the president of a school, man. That's dope.
Yeah, man. That's just something I just really am passionate about. When I was working as a dean of students at Southwestern, man, I would have students just, make it mandatory, make an announcement during chapel, hey, you need to come see me, sign your name, and pick a time, and we need to talk about what class you need to take, how long it's going to take for you to get out of here, and, everything you need, so there's no excuse, And it's like a lot of times, for our kids, they need that extra push. They need those resources, man, and you got to keep that foot on their neck, man. Like, hey, man, like, let's get this done.
For sure.
Because my theory, or my motto is you finish quick, you get out quick,
Yeah.
You finish quick, get out quick, man. Get in, get out, start your life, man. So, yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. MBM fam, welcome to the show. Still rocking early in season number 2, man. It's great to have y'all with us. Got my boy, Justin Felder, native of Texas, Houston, Texas to be exact. So it's a blessing to have you on, man. How you feeling, bro? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Blessed to be here, man. Man, proud of you, man. Proud of you for doing this, man.
Appreciate that, bro.
And inviting me, man. Making me a part of it, brother. Like, this is big, man. More than you know. I appreciate it.
For sure.
Appreciate it, man. Much love. Much love.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, man. Season 1 was fun, but season 2, man, I wanted to be, a lot more intentional about what we're dealing with. Obviously, last season was kind of a get to know you piece, but this season I wanted to deal, with some heavy topics, some information that I feel is going to really be helpful, man. So to our viewers, man, we pray that, man, if you're rocking with us tonight, we're dealing with the school system. We're dealing with education, specifically with males in the school system. If you grew up like me in the school system, you had teachers. Majority of them were women, and we appreciate the teachers that we had. But one of the impactful things I saw, man, was having those male teachers. My mama taught me, like, I can teach you, but one thing I can't teach you how to be a man. So you need a male for that. And so tonight specifically, we're talking about males in the school system. Man, diving into it, you also didn't see a lot of black men in the school system. So just the importance and influence of males in the school system, man. And so we've got a teacher in the game, Justin Felder, is in the Garland ISD, currently there in the DFW Metroplex there in Dallas, Texas, man. So first, man, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it,
Great to have you on, just your experience, man. Yeah, so it's great to have a teacher on, man. And talk to us about where you are. You're in the Garland area. Talk to us about the school you're at, man, and just how long you've been in the system, man.
I'm teaching at Sam Houston Middle School in Garland ISD, and this is technically going into my second year, but I've been teaching. This is like my 5th or 6th year teaching, because I also teach at Southwestern as a professor. And so it was a different dynamic coming from college into middle school. It's nothing like how we were raised. It's nothing like how it was when we were in school. And it's a lot of heavy lifting, the teachers that know, they know. If you know, you know. It's a lot of heavy lifting, man. It's a lot of give. Man, yeah, it's a lot, man.
Okay, good stuff, man. So already out the bat, man, you just got a good variety, jumping from college, now jumping into to middle school, man. For starters, what made you become a teacher? I know you got people who jump into a job, and being a husband, being a father, I get it. It's a means to an end. But what made you decide, you know what, I'm going to be a teacher?
Well, man, before I went to seminary, man, I didn't really, I thought I was just going to teach, man, teach college. What got me into teaching was, I would have to say, just being around it. Like my mother's a teacher. She's been teaching for 30 years. My cousins teach, and my sister's a teacher. My wife is a teacher. So it's like just being around all of that,
It's almost like singing.
Yeah, exactly. It's just being around it. I never thought I'd be in the public school system. But, that's how God, that's where he put me in. So teaching is just something, man, I feel like is just natural. It's just like an innate ability, but you're still trying to hone those skills. You're trying to master the craft, because you have master teachers, and you have trash teachers. And as I teach, I'm just being honest, man. It's just, seriously, man. As much as the more and more I teach, man, I realize I had trash teachers. And you know what, man? If one of them happens to watch this, this is for you. You know what I'm saying? Let's just put it out there. You know what I mean? I'm serious, man. That's just what it is, brother. Like growing up, man, teaching,
Yeah.
Like you have white teachers, man. You know, like, man, just do your work. You know what I mean? Do your work, and then they don't really care if you pass or fail. It's like, man, just get out my class. You know.
True.
And then you get to college, man. You got trash teachers in college, man. And it's like, man, the teacher. One thing that I've learned as a teacher, man, you are there to make sure that the student progresses in some way. If the student does not progress, then what are you doing?
That's real.
You know what I mean? It's like, I can understand if, you know, the parents aren't supportive, the parents don't show any involvement.
And that's a conversation too. You know what I mean?
It's a loaded convo, man, for real. But what I'm saying is, if you are a teacher, man, your job is to make sure that student progresses, brother. Like, even if they are on the verge of failing, you need to make sure that they got something. And that's why I always tell my students, like, look, if you don't learn anything else, man, I at least want you to be better when you leave this class.
No, that's good.
You know, when you leave this class, it's I don't want to say it's like counseling, but it's like you're trying to build rapport with each student. And one thing that I talk to other teachers, and I'm sure you already know this as a minister, man. It's like everybody learns different. Yep. Everybody learns different, and it's like you're trying to learn how each student learns, and that is hard. Man. Yeah, that's hard, man.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. You just talk about your background being a teacher and how that, I'm sure, influenced you. It's crazy because, you know, both my parents, teachers, my father's, he's talking about retiring now, and that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? My late mother, she was a teacher, but also she retired as a principal. And so you can imagine, man, they were trying to encourage me to get in that school system, but I was like, nah, I didn't. Being the son of two educators, you hear the stories, you know what I'm saying, that your parents come tell whenever they come home, and it's like, do I want to deal with that? You know what I'm saying? And so it's funny because I tell them, like, I'm a teacher, I just teach spiritually, you know what I mean? So I'm still a teacher.
You're still a teacher.
Yeah.
You still a teacher. It's just a different angle, a different perspective, but you still teaching, man. And one thing, you know, everybody has some type of, I think everybody can be a teacher in some aspect because you can learn from everybody.
For sure.
You can learn from any and everybody.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, teaching is just one of those things, man, that kind of just gets walked on, and we don't really sit down and analyze and critically think about what is a teacher exactly. What is the purpose of a teacher? And you have so many teachers, man, that just don't get their flowers, man. They don't get their flowers, and they're great teachers, man. They care about the kids, they care about the communities, man. And it's like, now you have, and I know, and I'm sure it was probably like this when we was coming up, but it's like now you have parents who was just like, well, the teacher is like an extension of the parent now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or worse, the teacher is the parent, and then they go home.
There you go.
To the parents, and everything that you've taught them has been deconstructed, and then you gotta construct it again when they come back, and then it gets deconstructed again. Then you have this cycle, and it's you feel defeated, man.
Yeah.
You feel defeated.
It's almost like a lost cause, but you know, on the encouraging side. So let's dive into your experience. You're in Garland ISD. What's the primary demographic of your student body there?
The primary demographic is Hispanic.
Okay, so how is that? I mean, there's a language barrier unless you're just bilingual and you're fluent, but there's obviously a language barrier, there's a culture barrier, you know what I'm saying? So number one, how does it feel just being the minority, you know what I'm saying, in the school system, and talking about being a male teacher, because obviously there's more women than males, and so just, you know, you have to see that importance of being a male teacher, let alone being a black teacher in the school system.
Well, being a male teacher, it has ups and downs, but I think the male teacher aspect is important because you need males for both, like boys and girls. I feel like you need that. I feel like you need that other side. I mean, you have the women educators who are, you know, nurturing, caring, and, you know, loving, but you need the male teachers to have a stern side and an understanding side as well.
For sure.
But being like the minority, I mean, I like that I'm the minority, but then it's like I'm still learning. So it's like, you know, I'm still trying to figure out like the culture and everything, you know, because it's like, it's Hispanic, like, and there's like none of my students are black. I have no black students.
Oh wow.
I have all Hispanic, man, and it's like, you know, I'm learning them and they're learning me, and they're like, you know, who's this? Like, who's this guy? But it's different, man. It's different. it's different, man.
Yeah. And not to put you on the spot, you're not just a black, male, you're also a black male, but then you're also a young black male. And I didn't actually teach in grade school, but I've had mentorship programs that during the summers that I would lead and oversee. And I understand how it is being a male, being a black male, and being a young man. And you have these young ladies, you know what I'm saying, who are very friendly. Let's put it that way.
Talking about the students?
Yes.
Oh. Brother,
or faculty, you know what I'm saying? Well, and so there obviously it takes a lot of discipline, you know what I mean? And so just talk to us more about that experience of just having discipline and saying, okay, you know what, I understand these dynamics, but I've got a goal in mind. You talked about, okay, my goal is to make sure you get in and get out.
Well, I mean, what I do is, because I was before I started teaching at Southwestern and going to Garland, I was a chaplain in the hospital, and as you know, man, as a minister, you have your techniques of how you counsel people, like when you talk to them, and I use those same principles, man. I just kind of just,
that's good.
I kind of just, I'm just there as someone to listen and to listen and then analyze as they're talking, like just let them speak. Because one thing I've noticed is when I first got to Garland, man, it was so bad. I mean, kids was like jumping off the walls, man, and one time I think I just lost it, man. I had to just tell them what it was. I tell them like it is, and like, hey, man, it's just not what you think this is,
right? Right.
And in the end, man, they ended up loving me for it, and now all those kids, those girls, those guys, they come back as 8th graders to my classroom, and they want to talk to me about what's going on with them.
That's good.
So it's like, you have to. I believe that you have to build that relationship with them. And one thing I was telling my AP was my focus is not so much the grades at this point, it's the well-being, because these kids have so much that they're going through outside of school.
That's
and
true.
And it's like they may tell you or they may not, and you have counselors and they may not tell the counselors, but you have to focus on the well-being. But how to, as far as like get through all that friendliness, man, you just got to be determined and focused, man, and just, you just have to have that goal in mind, man. And my goal is just to focus on the well-being and make the school, or at least allow my presence to be to affirm what the school, to affirm the policies of the school, to affirm the progress of the school. You know what I mean? Because you have so many kids, man, that's just like, to be honest, man, they're gonna fall. You know what I mean? And you got to say something. You know what I mean? Like you want to reach 1, 2, 3, but if you reach one, they say you reach one, teach one, reach one. But I'm trying to reach like 5, 10, 15.
Right.
You know, which is not always the case. You know what I mean? That's hard, but that's just where I'm at.
So where you're at, I know when I would talk to my parents and even other teachers, colleagues who I went to, school with, grade school with, high school, some college, who are teachers now like yourself. One of the things that is often heard is just the ratio discrepancy. Like when I coordinated a nonprofit for reading and arithmetic, we had a 1-to-10 ratio. Okay, for every teacher, you had 10 students. But I know that's not always the case in the school system, man. So what's the ratio that you all have there in Garland ISD?
I would have to say, to my classroom? Well, I know for me, like my smallest class is probably 13, but my largest class is like 23, 24. It's like, and I mean, and it's steady growing. Like, and I'm getting kids that can't speak English at all. And so it's like I'm trying to, and this is something that, that I'm just thinking about, because they, when my students have to take not just the STAR, they have to take this test called TELPAS, which is kind of like English proficiency. So how proficient are you in English?
Gotcha.
And they have to pass that test and the STAR. So it's kind of like a double whammy.
Wow.
You know what I mean? As opposed to a regular student who just takes a STAR or what's your state test here?
We don't have the state testing like you all have.
Really?
Yeah, we don't. Wow. We don't have a STAR now. I don't know if it's changed recently, but I know we didn't have like a STAR test.
Wow.
So like when we got to Southwestern, and of course Southwestern being in Texas, a lot of the native Texans will talk about the STAR test, and I'm like, what is that? So we didn't we didn't have like a STAR test. I guess we would probably call it a panhandle test or you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Okie test.
Right. You know? Something, you know what I mean?
Nah,
so yeah, we didn't have that. So that was a new concept.
Man, with my students, man, you know, I try to drill those different foundational principles of English in them, but it's just hard, man. And this is a test, like TELPAS is something they've been taking since the second grade. And they haven't passed it yet, and they have to take it, and it's like, yeah, man, and that can be very overwhelming, man, and draining. It's like, and just making you feel like, you know, you like, man, I can't pass the test, but it's like you have to drive that notion, like, man, you are smart enough, man, you are brilliant, you are gifted enough to take this test, man, and you know you have to do that. You have to put that in their mind, put it in their mind, and yeah, man, that's the battle that we face, man. That's the battle that we have to go through each and every day, man.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, for one, I feel as if you know the testing, you know, is a little excessive, but you know, who am I?
I've heard that a lot from teachers.
Who am I? I am just a black man, you know, teaching in the classroom, brother.
Yeah, I mean, they say because like you have some students that are super intelligent, but they're just not good test takers.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. I don't really feel the tests really indicate the intellect. Because if you get them in their comfort zone and you talking to them, you're like, man, this kid is off the charts, like brilliant. But you put them in the test, it's like, oh my gosh. And then on the TELPAS, man, they have to speak on the mic just like this. They have a cubicle and they got to speak on the mic.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir. Most definitely. And it's like, man, I said, you want to take TELPAS? No, I want to take it. I said, why not? I got to speak into a microphone. What's wrong with that? They said, man, people can hear me. I was just like, oh man, that's messed up, man. Public speaking, brother. Like, we gonna work on public speaking.
Like,
then,
it's not funny, but that's just, bro, it's crazy.
It's like, bro, you have a cubicle and you have a microphone, and they say, read this. And you gotta read, bro.
Are you serious?
Dead serious, man. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know they telling me. I was like, I can see how that's kind of, yeah, I can see how you would kind of be like, nah, I'm good. And you know, a lot of them like, man, I'm too cool for that. I'm too cool. I'm like, man,
yeah.
I say, look, man, you got to get out of that, man. You got to get over that, man. Let's get this done, man. You can do this. You can do this. But I feel, you know, if maybe they had their own, if they brought them to a room and they spoke into it, maybe they'd be more apt to do that. But it's like when you're around people and people can hear you, it's like, oh man, he can't read. What's wrong with him? He can't say that word, you know, and that's, you know, man, that's, you know, self-conscious, man, you know, it's anxiety, you know, you nervous. It's like, you know, all those things come into play when you taking tests, regardless. And now you got to speak into a microphone. Imagine it when you took a test, bro, and you had a microphone and she said, go ahead, Ryan, go ahead. And you like, students got their pencil, they just,
wow,
they trying to hear.
Man, like
so, yeah.
I mean, you hear about just unfair treatment to immigrants, man. But you know, you it's like they're saying, like, there's some things, man, you're just not going to get unless you're in that experience.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Like when you see it for yourself, it's like, you know, you're like, man, things are demystified. You know what I mean? Like you could talk about it, but when you actually go through it and you see it, and even with teaching, man, like, you know, my wife would come home with stories, you know, my mom would come home with stories, and they say, man, guess what? And it's like, you know, oh man, it's crazy. And you're like, I don't know, it's crazy. And then you going through it, and then you see it for yourself. You like, man, this really does happen.
Yeah.
This is the real deal. So
crazy.
Yeah.
So, just on the positive side, man, we talked about some of the realities of being a teacher, man. What is your most, you know, talk to the viewers, what's your most rewarding aspect when it comes to being a teacher?
I think the most rewarding aspect is when, and I didn't even realize this till this year, man. Like some of my 8th graders who were 7th graders last year, when I taught them, you know, they said, man, who was a teacher that made an impact on you while you were here? And they said, oh, Mr. Felder, you know, he believed in me. And, you know, they come in with their football jersey, man, and I hold it, you know, and they, man, I want you to come to the game, man, because, you know, you really made an impact on my life. And it's like, you know, it's like for real, man. Like
you go to any of the games?
I mean, I tried, brother. You know, I tried to get there. You know, I got family, brother. I try to get there, brother. I try to get there, brother. I mean, hey, hey, I try to get there, man. But hey, I tell them, man, we'll have lunch or something,
Yeah,
live it up, but
yeah.
but it's like, brother, didn't I say something crazy to you, brother? Like, you sure? Like,
right. You like me?
be like, bro, I promise. I'll be like, oh snap, that's today. Yeah, man. Hey, man, you dab them up, but hey, man, as people say, man, they crave that structure, man. They crave it, I remember one of the students that I'm talking about, man. He came in and he was I remember one day he was in class, man. Smart kid, man, real smart kid, but he just kind of gets distracted. And he was like, man, Mr. Felder, man. I said, what does your dad do? And he's like, man, my dad work. And I said, what does he do? I don't know. I said, you don't know what your dad does for work? And he's like, nah, I don't know what he do, man. He get on my nerves. I said, why is he getting on your nerves? Man, he always yelling at me. I said, does he put clothes on your back? Yeah. I said, does he put food on your table? Yeah. I said, is there shoes on your feet? Yeah. I said, well, then you can't talk about your father. And I don't want to hear you talk about him ever again, or it's gonna be a problem.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be a problem for real. Like, you don't get to talk about your dad because you're not out there.
Yeah.
All you know is he did say he did construction. I said, do you know? I said, let's analyze that. What are you doing construction? Where you work at? Outside. I said, is it hot outside right now? Yeah. Don't you think your dad want to come in the air?
Yeah.
I tell them, man, I tell those kids, I say, look, man, I say, you are a representation of your parents, man, whether you know it or not. When you come in here and act like that, you are a representation. You are showing me that your parents haven't taught you not a thing, brother, about how to act in a class. Like, you come in here and you may say things, you get up out your seat, you're defiant, you're disobedient, you think you can say what you want to say. It's like you're not representing your parents appropriately, like, or properly. Like, you are misrepresenting your parents, and it's like, we try to go through, well, what does that mean, or what does a privilege mean, or like, and it's just a lot of things, man. Like, you just have to break a lot of things down, and I think for me, looking back, a lot of teachers just didn't do that, man. They just, they say it and go on, and
they had that curriculum and they got through it. Yeah,
and then I mean, to be honest, I never saw a black male teacher substitute.
Wow.
But you know what's crazy? I had a black principal my senior year, but I never saw a black male teacher.
Okay.
Like, ever. Not in junior high, not in high school. I didn't see my first black male teacher till I got to college. Yeah, Southwestern.
Wow. Yeah. I can only imagine like how that has impacted you.
Yeah.
And so, man, like, so with that being said, you didn't see a male teacher, let alone a black male teacher, until you got to Southwestern. So where you are now, being an educator, do you feel like there's opportunity for you to move up?
As far as
just the advancement in the profession?
I feel like there's an opportunity to move up, man. I just think that, if I could just be 100% USDA.
That's what we doing here. We all be honesty, man. I don't want you to come on the short line to the people, man.
Nah, man, never that, man. Never that, man. I can't come on my bro short line, man. But you know, man. People know me. They like, man, Jay.
Straight shooter, baby. Straight shooter.
You never know what he's gonna say, brother. Just being real. But now, man, if I had to be real, man, I see advancement, brother, but I probably won't take it, brother. Like, I probably just exit. Just being real. I'm just being honest, man. I mean, not saying that I don't care, but it's like, I care about students, man. But I remember, and I know they're gonna say, man, why he talking about this dude? But I mean, it's two people that I've listened to, just one more than the other. One I've listened to more is Dr. Kwanzaa Kunjufu. He has studies on black and Hispanic, black and Latino boys, on how to get them, to succeed in class and all that. Okay. And then I listened to a little bit of Dr. Umar Johnson, a little bit, when he not tripping. But
I understand.
And he was just saying, like, man, a teacher with empathy would never make it in public school system. And I feel like I have too much empathy.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I have too much empathy, and it's like I have a, I mean, come on, bro. Like we have a heart of a minister, man, heart of a chaplain, bro. So we're thinking, like, what can we do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What can we do? But it's like everything you're doing feels like it's for naught. You know what I mean? So it's like you. It's not that you want to quit. It's like you have no choice but to quit, because what you're doing is not really making a dent in what is going on, you know what I mean? And it's like you try to instill some things into them, you try to be there for them as much as you can, but it's just not enough. And I'm not telling like anybody who wants to advance, like, not to do it. I'm not saying that. I mean, hey, if that's what you want to do, please continue doing it. I'm just telling you where I'm at in my journey, you know what I mean? like what's going on with me, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember Dr. Kanjufa, he was saying that, you know, really, man, the number one thing he said for kids, you know, who are you know, economically disadvantaged, man, he was saying like the parents have got to get involved, man. And it's like we've got to do more to get the parents involved, man. We've got to do more because the parents have to show concern. If the parents don't show concern, it's like, how can you expect your child to show concern? That's true. It takes a special child to be like, okay, my parents don't care, but I'm gonna get mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It takes a lot of drive, a lot of determination. But that's a lot to work through. You know what I'm saying? It's like we've seen the imagery where, you know, you have the race that people can run, but you know, and then you have those who got a fair shot, a smooth lane. Then you have those who have the hurdles and the disadvantage and all that kind of stuff they got to get through, man. And so, I mean, I can imagine having that context and trying to work through all that, man. That's a lot.
Yeah, man. And it's like these kids are 12 and 13, man. You know, they worried about my boyfriend, my girlfriend over there. It's like, man, look, man, you have no idea how much life you have left. If the Lord says the same, man. You have no idea
that's real.
How much life you have left, man. I know y'all, you know, this is what it is. Y'all live for the moment, but it's just like you're trying to break all that, man, and social media doesn't help at all.
No.
Man.
No.
What?
Man, like, yeah, let's talk about that, man, because I mean, we live in a day and age, man, where, man, like your appearance, you know, matters more than your mind.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah, man. Like the TikToks, the Instagrams, the Facebooks. Well, they say Facebook's for old folks, so I'm guessing Snapchats.
There you go.
You know, whatever else people are on, man. It's
we in our 30s, baby. So we're getting to that point, man, where you gotta have a social media just to keep up.
Yeah, you have to, man. And I remember students, you know, they always going live in the classroom. I was like, man, take me off live.
Wait,
bro, I'm serious.
Wait,
let's talk about it, brother.
Wait a minute, brother.
Yeah, brother, they going live. Live, brother, in the classroom. Yes, sir.
No,
these kids don't care, man. These kids, man, brother, we in the church, brother. Come on.
In the classroom, bro?
Brother, live, brother. I'm in the teaching, they like, Mr. Felder. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Turn it off, man. Turn it off. Mr. Felder, say, turn it off, man. Come on. Turn it off, man. They going live, man. They don't care. It's like, man, give me your phone. But see, my policy is, if I take your phone, you get it at the end of the day, because I'm not going to keep your phone. What do I need your phone for? I mean, unless you forget to get it, and then I give it to you tomorrow. But it's like, you know, they attach these phones, man. And then, and one thing, you know, the school says, you know, they shouldn't have it at all. But it's like, bro, that's the age we live in. These kids are going to have a phone. So my thing is, if we're doing an assignment and you need to use the internet, I will allow you to use your phone for the context of this assignment, if you can do it quietly and not disrupt the classroom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I let them do that, and that's fine. You know what I mean? I have no problem with that, man. It's just, you know, you just don't know what they looking at. You know, you just want to make sure they looking at things that are you know, not unruly or suggestive. You know what I mean? And bro, it's
a different animal, man.
What's it called? Ever going battle. It's
ongoing
battle.
Yeah.
Constant battle.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So
shout out to all the teachers, man.
Yeah, man.
You know,
sure.
As encouraging as Zim, hey, I know this is event session too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Sometimes you got to,
you know.
I mean, obviously being a teacher, and it's very similar to being a minister, man. It's just certain stuff you can't say in the moment. You can't say to certain people. Can't say to these students, man, because, you know, the system is designed, you know, where the student's almost like a customer, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Customer's always right, student's always right, and it's like, no, they're not.
Right. Well, you know, that's my motto. The customer's not always right. But, you know, I mean, when I was for customer service, I mean, you're not right. So, you know, that's what it is. I don't care what's going on with you. You're not right. But, you know, that's where I'm at with mine, brother. So, you know, I mean, the student, man, you know, students, man, they, you know, you find out that students are real fragile because you got to break. They're like clay. Like, you got to break them down and you got to mold them back up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and one thing I've learned about students is, because you know, students, man, they think they funny, man. It's like, you know,
they take you a joke.
Yeah, they take you. They say, oh, your mama. And I said, oh, you want to go? Like, you want to go? I was like, brother, I will stop class for you. I will stop it, brother. We can do this. Like we can do this the whole class period, bro. We can take notes on this. Like please.
It's gonna be a whole lecture.
Yes,
you know
bro. And
man?
it's like they don't even know how to use your mama. So it's like, brother, please,
right? Like
please
your mama was like our generation. Like, fam,
yes.
you are out of your expertise. You know what I mean?
Like, brother, please, like, let me fire you up just for a few moments, please. I will fire you up, man. And it's like, and you say one thing, and they
done. Rest of the day, it's like no. You challenge me.
It's like, bro. It's like you want to dish it, but you can't take it. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. What you think? You think it's my first rodeo? Like, come on, man. Like, come on. But it's all. It's kind of like building that. You trying to build that family in each classroom, in each period, man, and then teachers, or students, they come and say, oh, Mr. Felder, I did this today, and then, they tell you about stuff that you just be like, oh, that's what's up, man. You be like, oh, okay. Like they just be like, and that's when like you're making a dent somewhere, man. You're reeling them in slowly but surely. It's still gonna be some heavy lifting, but when they start telling you like, oh, my mom's gonna do this for me today, or we're going here today, it's just, it's all about the well-being and the repertoire with the student, man.
For sure. No, I mean, and that goes back to the point of, man, just being too empathetic, man. Believe it or not, man, you are making a difference. And for those teachers on who can relate to, what Justin is talking about, man, you are making a difference.
Yeah.
For sure. Obviously, before me being here at Virgin Street, I was in youth ministry. And one of the caveats there is like, man, okay, you don't always get to see the fruits of your labor. Like, okay, man, right. I've invested my time in this adolescent, man. And sometimes you question like, yo, is it making a difference?
Yeah.
And one of the difficulties is, man, you don't always get to see the return on your investment. Like, you don't know how that kid's gonna turn out.
Right.
You just got to plant a seed. But it's like the scripture says, you know what I'm saying? I planted, Apollo's watered. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like you can't, of course I'm a preacher. We're in the church, so we got to give some kind of biblical, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So sometimes you can't always worry about the end result, because sometimes you're at the root and you got to start at the root, and then let the next person who's higher up in that chain, do their job, so it's almost like, man, working with a child, man, is almost like being on a proverbial assembly line. You know what I'm saying? I'm at this point, the next teacher, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, whatever is at this point, you know what I'm saying? And just all I can worry about is my part.
That's it, man. That's it. So most definitely. It's like, it's like you have these trees, man. It's like you're trying to bend them a certain way, and the parents have to learn, like, man, you have to start when the child is at the root. Like, you have to start like when they're growing, and you have to be able to, instill and put the right things in them, or that tree is gonna get stronger and you can't do anything with it. You know what I mean? It's like these kids, and it's like a lot of these kids aren't getting that at home, man. Like they're not getting that. And I'm not saying, the parents are wrong or anything. All I'm saying is the parents have to be more involved with what's going on. And a lot of these students, man, the parents aren't really well at speaking English, so they're telling them, they may tell them something and it may be true, it may not. So it, you have that barrier as well, man. You have that battle too. So
good stuff, man, bro. We can go like on and on. You know what I'm saying? Obviously we bros, and then both of us having a context with our upbringing in the school system, man, it definitely is something that is near and dear to our heart. But lastly, before we let you go, man, you shared a lot of golden nuggets with us, but in the context of being a teacher, having students, working with staff, and then having your parents, man, what's some final words of encouragement that you can share, to help those who are, involved, whether it's the reality of it. It's not just the teacher. We always say that village raises, it takes a village to raise a child. So whether you're the teacher, support staff, the counselor, community member, or like even now, what I'm saying, if you're affiliated with a church, man, because those churches play a very, very important part as well. What's some advice you could share just with, with those viewing?
Well, man, I like what you said about the church, man. The church, I feel like, is a very important part in the community as far as the school system goes, man, because it builds structure as well for parents who may need that extra resource, man. I feel like the church, in any ethnicity or culture, man, is a resource, whatever tradition it is, because especially if it's in a community, man, and is strong. You know, I feel like the church plays an important role. But anything I could tell anybody who's working in the school system, man, it's just to just keep going, man. Just don't give up. You know, just keep, you know, work together to try to figure out what's the best route for the child. You know, I think a lot of times, man, teachers, they lose their empathy because it's like they feel stuck. You know, for some that I've talked to, I think they feel stuck, and it's kind of just like the empathy has faded away, and now it's just kind of like they're numb, and so they just like, man, whatever, you know, and that's what you don't want. And then that's when the teacher kind of starts to transition into a teacher who's just like, I'm just there for the money. And I think that's, you know, a lot of times that's what happens, man. You know, you go for the money, and then it just doesn't become rewarding at all, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so.
No, that's good. That's good, bro. We appreciate you, man, just blessing us, man. Man, yeah, I know it was therapeutic for you,
sure,
you know what I'm saying? And we pray those who've been rocking with us this whole time, man, it's been helpful for you, you know what I'm saying? If you're a teacher, preferably this was some woosah.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, he gets it. He gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, trust me, I get it. I couldn't give you all, you know, all of the inside, you know, but you know.
Couldn't give you the, you know, the rated mature, but we had to give you the, you know, the PG.
PG-13, you know. Can't give you the rated R. Listen.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Again, to the viewers, man, this is a ministry. We appreciate you rocking with us. We do this every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Man, if this blessed you, if you found value in this content, hey, it's a ministry. Like it, share it, bless somebody else with this time that my bro and I have shared. Appreciate you dropping in too, man. Coming in from Garland, bro. We appreciate that, man. It's a, we know it's a, it's a 4-hour drive, bro. So we appreciate you, bro.
Oh man, I wouldn't miss this for the world, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Most def.
Love everything you're doing with this, man.
Most def. Until the next episode, we'll see you then. God bless you. God keep you. Peace.
Peace.